we're actually live. And the camera is always on me the most.
Yeah, because you're selfish.
Self-centered.
No, just selfish, egotistic, and self-righteous. Yeah.
There
Live. Boom.
There we are.
How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
How are you doing, Tim?
Start off with a little bit of jaw, a little midnight.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't get shut down.
Don't shut us down yet.
Don't shut us down yet. Anyways, okay. Hey, man, how's it going, everybody? We're live on YouTube, and both of our people we were supposed to have on this week, you know, we're living in some weird times, I think, just because everything we've tried to do with our guests, it hasn't come through. Not they, but it had fruition, if you will. So we're just going to kind of wing it today. We want to keep the ball rolling. We want to talk about cannabis, activism, upcoming events, all that good stuff. What's been new since we talked last?
Not much. Just been getting ready for some more boutiques, some more markets.
You do a lot of those, huh?
Yeah, we do a lot of those. Try to stay busy every weekend. I'm getting some more hats made if anybody wants some beanies.
Wait a minute. I didn't plug? No, I didn't want to do plugs, dude.
I thought we were doing a plug.
You're always trying to sell shit, dude.
My bad. I'm always trying to. I'm in survival mode, I guess. You know.
No, I mean, like, what's new with cannabis? Like, what is up and coming for what are you? I guess I can kind of almost interview you. Like, where do you see yourself in a couple months? Like, what's coming up, man? Like, what do you want to do? I know you guys got Beehive Buds. I know that Beehive Buds is strong. It's community, healing community. I'm doing what I'm doing, but, I mean, you and I talk off camera. You and I talk about things that we want to do and our goals and stuff like that. Share with the people out there, like, what do you want to do, man? Like, where do you see Tyson? What do you want to do this summer for not only cannabis, but I'm a medical patient. You're a medical patient.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to be doing strain reviews coming up here. I guess I can let the cat out of the bag right now. We're going to be going to our local dispensaries, and we're going to go accumulate strains. And what we're going to do is we're going to break those strains down. We're going to consume those strains legally, of course, because we're both medical patients. We're going to vaporize those strains. And we're going to talk explicitly on how we're feeling, how it's going to break down, a pill, smell, touch, all that good stuff. And if you hear somebody come through the door, April's coming through.
April might be coming through.
She may want to come and sit in. So, anyways, we're going to be doing a strain review on basically all these specific strains laid out for patients here in Utah for medical cannabis. What do you think about that, Tyson?
I think that's awesome. I think it's essential.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
People got to know.
Why?
People got to know.
About
the flower, the quality of the flower.
Yeah, and what have you
heard?
How
it makes you feel. I've heard some unique stuff.
Yeah, good?
Yeah.
Positive?
The pre-packaging stuff, I don't feel like is really good for the flower.
Why is that?
They have those hydration packs in there.
Uh-huh. Something that looks kind of like, I'll grab, sorry, I didn't mean to jump into the camera right here.
Yep.
Like hydration packs. These are salts or
silica.
Salts,
I think.
But so you don't think that pre-packaging is something that's ample for medical patients?
I don't think so.
No?
I think they actually need to be able to connect with the plant.
Yeah.
If they can actually open the jar that the plant is in and then connect with it by smelling it and allowing the terpenes to let their body know if that's something that they do need.
Do you think that that's probably state regulated as far as like what we can and can't do? Or is it something that maybe was put into fruition by facilities? What do you think?
I think it's at the state
right?
level.
Yeah. Yep. Everything's got to be pre-packed.
Yeah, they're trying to create a wall between the person and the plant, you know, in regards to seeing the flower, feeling the flower, smelling the flower, and then utilizing the plant.
Right.
That could even go back as far as growing your own plant.
Right.
And getting to that level. So.
Yeah.
And we don't have that right in Utah as of yet.
Right.
So.
Well, there's a lot of things in Utah that need to be fixed that we're trying to talk about. Talking about it is something that comes first, and then patient activists, and also people who are getting medical patients their card. April,
hi, everybody.
Come over here real quick.
From you guys.
That's all good.
Hi.
So here's April. April is in charge of.
I'm in charge of Terra Health and Wellness. How is everybody? This is my mom.
Hi. AKA business manager.
That's right.
There you go.
Nice.
Hope everybody's having a good day.
so we were so grateful and blessed to. Our podcast is mobile, and we're all around everywhere. I don't want a really brick and mortar of a place somewhere where we have people come and show up because of COVID. Everything's kind of crazy. People are running all over the place. Schedules are really on whack, if you will. So April was very happy and fortunate for us to have us inside of the massage room here.
Yes.
And so
it's good space. You guys should come try it out
really quick.
That was, if you need to get massages, you know where to go.
Do you do them?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, if
Patricia
you're doing it, I'm
does
coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, give a shout out to Patricia.
So, it's really important for medical doctors, QMPs, people who are helping get. I got my card here with April.
I got mine here as well.
Yeah, so
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I met with Jason Miner.
Me too.
He was a pretty good guy, so he helped me get one for my knee. I actually have a Baker cyst on my left knee. When I tore my quadricep, I still have some lingering pain, and cannabis does help a ton with that. I'm not into taking any prescriptions or anything like that. That's not the way I want to go to heal myself, but utilizing cannabis for pain in that way has helped a ton. So
right. I'm not going to talk about my symptoms.
You don't have to
because
talk about it yet.
I don't.
We're grateful to have all of you guys.
Yeah. So we're going to be having April on soon. I want to ask her some very indirect questions about what she's dealing with, what she hopes to see come through the legislature this year, what we're planning on doing for 2021, her activism, how she got involved with what she's doing now, how many patients she's helping, and all the good stuff. So hopefully we can have her on and come on and sit down and talk about those things. So we'll put her on in the future here, and she's got some really unique insight when it talks to Latinos and Latinas in medicine and medical marijuana, and that's something that we really want to talk about, with me being Latino, this gentleman being Latino.
You are?
And also, I'm not Hispanic, by the way, because there's no such place as Hispaniola. I guess there is a place called Hispaniola, but I'm not from there, and I don't consider myself Hispanic because, in my opinion, I believe that's just the system trying to figure out where I fit in, if you know what I mean. So we'll talk about that too as well.
It's government generated.
Right, it is government generated. Yeah, exactly. So
It's going to be a whole new podcast.
it's going to be a really good podcast, and so maybe we'll talk about that in the future too as well. So we'll be going to. So thanks, April.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right.
You guys have fun. Let me know
Yeah.
if you need anything, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
What was your name?
Tyson.
Tyson. Hi, Tyson.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
yeah, you do as
Haven't seen you
well.
for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Where's your smile?
I put it in my pocket
Well,
because I'm really serious, and I don't.
pull it.
I'm going to be talking about the government here pretty soon, so I want to be serious.
Hey, what's up, Travis?
All right.
except that we laugh and think they're a joke.
Thanks for
right?
the
Yeah, that's
love,
right.
dude.
Okay,
Share this
serious.
with your friends. Share
So,
it with your friends. What's
we're-
up, Beth?
We're live today, guys, and again, so we'll be doing strain reviews. We'll be talking about those specific strains and how we can really break those down and make them really applicable for people who have major illness and disease. One of the things that I've been doing just recently in the last few days is talking to a lot of cancer patients. Cancer patients has been something that I've been treating and helping with the dosing and formalities of what can be applicable for them just recently, without giving out too much information about that specific person and or who they are. We had a cancer patient who just recently was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And so they have went to all the most of the dispensaries in town. Okay.
What were they looking for?
They were looking for RSO, and specifically, if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's the Rick Simpson's oil. Rick Simpson is a gentleman from Nova Scotia, Canada, who resurrected the cannabis oil. And so cannabis oil has been around for thousands of years. Holistic doctors and homeopathic doctors and healers, et cetera, have been using cannabis for thousands of years in this form of cannabis oil. With that being said, Rick Simpson suffered from his own illness and diseases of getting TBI, traumatic brain injury, was giving him severe migraines, and through those severe migraines, he was acquiring his own cannabis. And after failing and trying to find the same strain that worked, he started taking matters into his own hands. And if it wasn't for Rick Simpson spreading the knowledge and the word that he has projected into the universe, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing. Talking with Rick Simpson over the phone and dealing with that kind of thing has been a very wonderful opportunity for me and Janet Sweeney out of Colorado. And hopefully these people can see these YouTube channels and understand that there are people out there following their their endeavor. So anyways,
teachings, yeah.
with this pancreatic cancer, they've been going around looking for the Rick Simpson's oil. Couldn't find hardly anything here in town. And they hear the wonderful benefits of phoenixtears.ca and getting on there and looking up and reading all these articles and these wonderful benefits. When done correctly, cannabis oil can be very, very generous to diminish tumors and eradicate cancer from the body indirectly. Not cure it, but just treat it. So this pancreatic cancer patient wasn't eating. They said he only had a couple days to live. A hospice was supposed to come in, all this stuff. And so we helped her with her medicine. And I don't want to get into too much detail with that because that's kind of private for her.
For sure.
But she is a medical marijuana patient. She
Perfect.
did acquire it legally. So that's all good said and done. No harm, no foul. And we taught her how to make suppositories so that they could use suppositories because this gentleman had been getting too high. He stopped using cannabis. He's like, I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm getting stoned and it's making me lethargic. And
how was he using it?
He's nonverbal because he's at his end, you know.
How was he using it when he was getting too high?
When he was getting too high, he was vaporizing those pens, those
he was
pens.
Smoking it.
Smoking the pens.
Oh, okay.
Tried to vaporize a little bit of flour and they started giving him tinctures. Well, these tinctures are alcohol based from the dispensary.
That can be super harmful to the
Yeah,
body.
right. And so him being nonverbal at that point, she contacted me, laid out all the medicine, not only the pharmaceuticals that she has,
Yeah.
but also the cannabis products that she's acquired legally here at the medical dispensaries. Not too many people knowledgeable here at the dispensaries with cancer.
It's tough.
You know,
It's
it
a
is.
young place.
It's new.
Yep.
It's not their fault. It's just that it's new.
They haven't been approached with all
I've
this
been
stuff
treating
around us.
cancer patients for the last 20 years, literally. You know?
Yeah.
So I gave her a protocol, made it into suppositories. She administered her first suppository yesterday, 8 o'clock. No, day before yesterday, 8 o'clock. And he had an immediate response from it within hours. Woke up in the morning, started eating again, started drinking, starts communicating, you know?
Yeah.
Still having problems, but we got him on
Still.
he's going to be getting some intravenous vitamin C. Proper diet. When cancer patients are not eating a lot, you want to give supplemental intake with vegetables.
For sure.
Yeah, no sugar, you know. So
Are they juicing it?
juicing it and juicing things that are not going to be high sugar content. No beets.
Yeah, for sure. No beets?
No beets
Okay.
because of all that sugar. No apples because of all that sugar.
Radish.
Even raw sugar, radishes. So we want to go on a raw, water-ish, if you will. Celery.
Yep.
Cucumbers.
Okay.
Kale, spinach, turmeric, ginger, all these things that are good, right? Vegetables, and then ultimately the fruits, right?
Okay.
Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, stuff like that. Staying away from apples, of course. Things that have high sugar content.
No bananas, no apples,
Yeah, no bananas.
pineapple.
Exactly, no pineapple. And then
Ginger.
in the
you
morning,
put ginger and stuff in there, or is that a different
ginger's
aspect?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, ginger's good. And then
Turmeric.
also in the morning time, getting those shakes in, you know.
Hey, Mom.
But then those shakes that people are using, they want to put peanut butter in there. They want to bulk up their cancer patients.
Oh, well,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
because of
Peanut butter feeds cancer.
what? Is it the oil?
Protein.
Okay.
It's the protein.
It feeds off the protein.
Yes, and the carbohydrates of sugar. So sugar and protein can be your worst enemy.
When
So
you're
we want to
dealing
do
with cancer.
oats. Want to do some oats, some yogurt, stuff like that.
Some millet, some
yeah, something very mild, some
okay.
fruit, you know.
quinoa,
No, and then no milk, no
no dairy.
dairy. Dairy's horrible for the body when it's suffering, when it's acidic, you know, because people that have cancer are more acidic. And so these things can help out generously. So he's going to start bulking up his weight, be sitting up, becoming very verbal. He's got a long road ahead of him, but cannabis can be a very viable tool for cancer. And that's something that I've been doing for the last few days.
So what about when you've seen all that laid down on the table with all the medications and
Right.
Even the cannabis and stuff?
Mhm.
Were there some medications that interacted poorly with the cannabis that they were using in that form?
Can I say this like very generously? All of it.
All of it was
All of
bad.
it.
Just a bad combination.
Well, it's just a bad combination, you know, because he was just getting high. And anytime that you introduce THC with pharmaceutical drugs, you have to be very, very careful because of the inebriation.
Yeah, exactly.
It can heighten the experience of pharmaceuticals, and you know that firsthand.
Yeah, for
Remember?
sure.
Because
Yep.
we were talking about that with the lady that we were helping.
Yeah, that was a
You
tough.
know what I mean? It's a tough
tough
one,
moment,
you
yeah.
know? But hey, trial and error.
Yep.
You know
I
what I mean?
learned
So
the hard
that's
way.
kind of what I've been doing. So The cancer is always something that is always in the back of my mind, and understanding proper protocol for medical patients here in Utah, finding things that are applicable right away so that they don't have to go through their trial and error because of the experiences that I've had with cancer patients on all levels, from glioblastoma cancer, from stomach cancer, prostate cancer. One of the first cancers I ever helped treat was prostate. So a gentleman came to me and said, hey, I have prostate cancer, my levels are elevated, and I'm not going to get chemo or radiation because my brother and my dad had gotten chemo and radiation, and they died because it progressively got worse, spread throughout the body, and then ultimately killed them with a brain tumor, both of them. So we started administering, again, suppositories. People don't understand the powers of suppositories because it's unnormal, it's foreign, people. I don't want to put something there because it's uncomfortable. Well, if you don't want to get high and you don't want to have that psychotropic mentality, if you use suppositories, they can be very generous in treatment. And this is saturating the lower intestines by influencing that endocannabinoid system that we were talking about. And so by doing this and introducing suppositories into the body is very generous, but at some point in time, your body will start to reject those suppositories. So at some point in time, you will have to take it orally as well.
Okay.
But that's where microdosing comes in.
So you can build up your tolerance.
Yeah.
And then allow yourself to be
Microdosing with high potency percentages of RSO. You can start to acclimate the body very quickly. And I mean, 90% of the people that I've treated with cancer with cannabis have been in remission and or have never tried cannabis before. And by giving small incremental amounts of not only tinctures, but in specifically the oil, within a matter of a week or two, they're already experiencing levels of THC that maybe you and I wouldn't even be able to take. I mean, we could take it, but we'd be very inebriated. Talking about taking a normal dose of RSO up to 25, 50, even 100 milligram dose, and then that's when you start experiencing that true bliss of that cannabis oil, for proper treatment of cancer. So
that's what we need. So when you do it through the suppository,
when you do it through a suppository,
you don't get. Do you still get a high?
If you go too far up into the rectum,
okay,
you may. But that's why there's a certain spot you don't pass for that threshold. But that's all accumulated through knowledge of the administration of the medicine, and using the right oils, coconut oil, or I like to use cacao butter. Cacao butter seems to be a little bit more pliable. It's not as messy as coconut oil. Okay. But if you don't have any cacao raw cacao butter, and I'm not talking about powder form, I'm talking about the stuff that solidifies in the jar that you melt down. And then you can, so the rule of thumb is for Rick Simpson, he always told people, take about up to a gram a day for people who are severe ailments. I don't like that, and the reason why is because you accumulate too much of a tolerance even through suppositories.
That's big.
And so what happens is that the body will actually start to reject this. And I've seen this not only with cancer patients, but people even taking it with like fibromyalgia. So my girlfriend, she suffers from fibromyalgia, and I was giving her a high dose just for her to go to sleep at night for her insomnia and her restless legs. And so by doing that, she started to build such a high tolerance that we had to switch up the strain. So taking up to a gram a day can be okay for a little while, but you don't want to necessarily do that. I would say a half a gram in suppositories, you can get up to a gram. For his instance, we did go close to a gram for the first week we're doing that, just because of the pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer and liver cancer is probably those really bad ones, and esophageal.
But so if you use a suppository, though, doesn't it bypass?
It bypasses, but at the same time, it saturates the body.
Okay.
With such an enormous amount of THC that at some point in time you will build such a high tolerance, and we don't want that high tolerance right off the get-go. We want to slowly build that tolerance, let the THC become therapeutic, and then advance later on.
All right.
Yeah. And then taking it orally as well. If you can take it orally and take the suppository, that's the way to go. So, yeah, man.
So you just advocate more for ingestibles over
smoking. So smoking, I like smoking for immediate relief. Like if a cancer patient's going through some kind of radiation or chemotherapy and it's inhibiting their growth to eat, or stopping them from eating, I should say. Smoking is one of those really quick forms, strain specific, of course. That's going to be helping people with appetite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that, I would always recommend that. But unfortunately, we can't smoke flower. You can only vaporize it. And there's benefits to vaporizing flower, don't get me wrong, but nothing like actually consuming that flower. Yep. In my opinion. So hopefully we can get those laws changed.
But you think you should stick to ingesting then?
I always, number one, ingesting is the number one form of advancement for administration of cannabis.
Is that the easiest way to build up your tolerance?
I think so, just because it does that one pass, But, so, and that's something that I'm really firm in talking to, and maybe we can get into the dispensaries and start talking to these individuals about formalities.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. What's up?
So we're just, my mom says hi, Travis says garlic. Garlic is great. That's the one I was actually
Garlic
thinking
is really good for anti-inflammatory, antiseptic as well. When I was younger, I didn't get to go to the dentist a lot because we didn't have a lot of money. So if I had like a toothache or something, I would always cut up garlic. And so the really unique thing about garlic is a lot of people don't understand is when you're using garlic for therapeutic use or for benefits of your body, this is what I want you to do. And some may know this and some may not know this is that you take the garlic and you cut it up, right?
Yep, and then you let it set.
You let it set.
Yeah.
Actually take it outside.
Oh, really?
Let it, yeah, and
Let
let
the
it
air?
just let the
Let it
air in
permeate
it
out there?
permeate.
Okay.
Yep. And you get these specific binding. I don't like to use the word chemicals, but binding saturation. I forgot the number one word.
Molecular.
No, there's a word
What is
for it.
it
It starts
called?
with an A. But so, anyways, it ferments, and the sulfur in there starts to release. And if you do this, you chop up your garlic and you wait a couple minutes, and then you consume it. It's at optimal point of saturation into the body to get you those enzymes and get everything for those healing properties to come in there.
How long do you let it set?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
You got to see this guy chop garlic.
Oh yeah, he's seen me chop garlic.
When I went to his house
Yeah.
in Oregon, he would always just look me in the eyes and just be chopping all this garlic. I'm just like, dude, take it easy, man. Look at your hands. He had no worries. Yeah, just like that, that fast. Do it again. Oh yeah, that was about the speed he was doing it too.
Yeah.
So he's
he
pretty
was
effective.
he was blown away by the therapeutic benefits of chopping your own vegetables and garlic. My family thought it was funny because I was sitting there. They said, "Man, this is the most we've seen you cook all summer." But when you came down and visited the farm,
Yep, you guys were
which
packing
your
up.
experience would probably be a little bit more appreciated when you talk about that. But when you visited the farm, I made it a point to take a lot of time to hang out with you.
Yeah,
To
that
talk
was
with you and let you understand exactly where my philosophy was and what I was portraying. And you heard a good game when I met you last March. You and I talked a lot, but you really wanted to come down to the farm, and you came down at the most optimal time,
Yeah.
right before the fires and all kinds of craziness
Fairly
hit
good,
and all that stuff. So, that experience. What do you think of that?
I thought it was pretty cool. I wish I could have been there like 2 weeks later, but
Mhm.
again, the fires, the BLM stuff, all the
Right.
freaking riots and everything. It was actually a great time for that.
Yeah.
But seeing the plants in that way, we took some wonderful pictures, and being around those greenhouses, it was.
Well, you're going to be around the plants a lot more because I just got an indoor.
Yeah, I've just got something indoor going.
Yep, I'm going to be starting indoor growing here next month. I'm going to start building out my indoor facility for R&D and also getting patients the indoor medical hemp. I'm not going to be growing cannabis, but hemp.
Hemp,
CBD.
baby. Yep.
And hemp CBD can be just as, or if not more, beneficial to some for medicinal value if used in the correct way. And so my medical facility is going to be here in Salt Lake City, actually in Sugar House.
Yep.
I'm not going to give the exact
The
location.
undisclosed location.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to be doing is following formalities of strain specifics and really honing in on the indoor environment of a segregated, strategic controlled environment to control these cannabinoids and give the people of Utah what they deserve, which is proper medication. I'm not saying that we're the best, but we're just different. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
going to be kind of exciting because we're going to be able to do podcasts in the grow room.
Inside the grow.
Yeah. So that's
Nope.
going to be kind of special, man.
Are we gonna have white coats?
No, hell
Have
no.
all of our hair covered?
I don't want no white coats. I don't wear white coats. I'll be clean. I shave. I'm not going to wear a white coat. If you want to wear a white coat in your grow room and try to look all sterile and pharmaceutical, you go ahead. But we stay clean. If anybody has their hair up like this and tied back, it's perfectly fine. You wear clean clothes. If you want to wear a jacket or something that represents you, then you can do that. But all these white coats and this formalities of pharmaceutical and all that kind of stuff, people say, well, it's sterile, right? It's sterile regardless of what you wear. As long as you're wearing clothes that you come in clean and you make sure that your shoes are clean.
No, dander all over you.
To be honest with you, making sure you wipe your feet making sure that you're not cross-contaminating your grow rooms. If anybody goes into the grow room, I don't let a lot of people into the grow rooms. I don't do tours. The only people that come into the grow rooms are those who are there on a regular basis. There's no animals around. There's no dander. We keep everything clean. We vacuum everything up. There's no saturated water on the floors. There's no still water or anything like that. We have proper ventilation. Everything's a controlled environment. I've been growing indoors for approximately, since 2001.
And you can't allow bacteria to build.
No, you can't. So it'll be a very sterile environment. But if that's your thing and you want to wear white coats and you want to but if you want to act or dress that appropriate, people wear Tyvek suits and they say it really does help. It does help, but me personally, I'm not comfortable in that environment of wearing white coats and wearing it. If someone has a big beard, I had a guy that had a really big, thick beard.
Your thing came down.
Yeah, I told him either you cut the beard or we get you a hairnet for your beard. So he trimmed the beard back about as far as yours, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? And we're examining all the cannabis and staying in a sterile, safe environment. But all those white coats and Tyvek things looking like Oompa Loompas, no, I'm not harping on anybody else that's doing that. That's just not my thing. I'm not going to do that. So as long as you're clean, you wear clean clothes, and you don't have any dander on your clothes. And if you do have if people have animals and they're working at my grow, I just ask that they bring clean clothes and leave them there. Yeah. And just change into your clothes. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, we will not be having white coats, bro.
All right. Yeah. What about little booties?
Little booties. You can wear booties. That's cool. Yeah, you can wear booties.
So, Autumn from Beehive Symposium says, plus Thai is a bottomless pit. That's why you had to cook for me when we were in Oregon.
No, I just tried showing off. It wasn't that you were a bottomless pit. If you're a bottomless pit, I think I ate more and gained more weight when you were there.
You think so?
Yeah, because,
you were excited, huh?
No, I only eat once a day.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, you hungry? And you're like, yeah, I could eat.
It's 11. Yeah. You hungry?
Yeah. You hungry?
2:30?
Yeah, I can eat.
You hungry?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can eat. Yeah.
I like to eat. Yeah. What's up, JD? Welcome to the party.
JD.
And Beth.
Hey, we're going to have JD on. I got to set up an appointment with JD. I want to have him come onto the podcast. I want him to talk a little bit about these new laws, how you can protect yourself. I love having these intellectual conversations with JD. I think we should set that up next.
Yeah, he's always a good resource.
After this podcast, we're going to contact JD and put in a time to get him going on and maybe get him to commit to a podcast with us, because JD has got some very insightful information for people, and we need people like JD in our community. And the reason why is because with all these new laws changing and what you can and can't do, people are really excited about getting their medical cards, making sure that you're storing it in appropriate containers and you're not kind of keeping things out of prescription, if you will, and just making sure that you're sharpening your tool, because the better we look, the better he looks, and the better you guys look. We're professional. People take us professionally when we get pulled over, and or if you happen to be consuming somewhere you're not supposed to, and or thinking that you're just doing a free-for-all. All these things that people do, because medical marijuana is new here in Utah, and we just want to make sure that we're mostly making things applicable for us to have the right to go and buy our medical cannabis at these pharmacies and dispensaries, but consuming legally and consuming appropriately, so that we're not breaking any laws. Because if we start breaking laws and we look horrible on TV or on these podcasts, and that's why you don't see us blazing up like all these other podcasts and smoking weed. We want to do that, but that's not. To do that. I would love to do that. I love smoking weed. Mm-hmm. I love taking bong hits, and I love consuming cannabis from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. But unfortunately, because of the laws here in Utah are different than the laws that we had in Oregon, so I've had to change my structure endeavor to coming here and vaporizing and making sure that I'm staying compliant with the law, because that way I'm being a good leader and I'm doing things that are going to be progressively going into fruition for better things to come. And if we sit here and smoke marijuana joints on podcasts and people are like, look at those guys, they're not following the rules, and they're not,
if they're not going to follow,
why should I?
Yep.
And so I am an advocate for smoking cannabis, and I want to do that. But unfortunately, right now, we can't. So what we'll do is just be humble, and we'll be cool. If we do smoke on these podcasts, it will be vaporizers. It will be with our pens, and it will be dry herb consuming.
Or it will be a dropper.
I forgot some of my dropper. We're kind of like on the fly today.
Yeah, we did on the fly.
Yeah.
So we weren't expecting.
We just kind of wanted to do a short podcast here and just let everybody know that we're still flowing. We're still going. Upcoming events. Remember, again, OG Cannabis Products, Sarah and Carly are going to be February 15th from 11 to 1 o'clock.
That's right.
Capitol building.
Yep.
We're going to be standing in. We're going to be handing paperwork out. We're going to be activists at the finest. So remember that. We're going to keep talking about it. February 15th, we need everybody to show up. If you're a medical marijuana advocate, if you believe in medical marijuana, if you have a medical marijuana card, if you have a child or elderly or your parents or you consume cannabis, be at the Capitol. Contact OG Cannabis Products, 929 East 45th South in Mill Creek. Okay, contact them for all the information if you want. Look up Sarah on Facebook as well. February 15th, 11 to 1 o'clock. You got to be there. We all got to be there. We got to stand in. We got to show our support. And there's lots of things that are coming up on the legislature. We all need to be involved. So I'm asking, please, if everybody can be there, that would be really, really important.
And also, you can reach out to Sarah Stremke. She was saying that her window is from 11 to 1, but if other people can also book out windows of time around that, then it can be free of charge. Because anything after that 2-hour window you have to pay for.
Right.
So if anybody wants to stand up and take like the 1 to 3, the 3 to 5 or something like that, we can see if that's something that we can do.
Right.
And she's also gathering information from patients about their story and about how their experience has been with this program. So please join the event page. We can post it in the comments. And do your best to fill that out. And the more that we have, the better. And it looks way better if we have a lot of people telling their story. So hit us up.
What when you're doing these events or these booths that you're putting up?
Yeah.
What are the number one questions people are asking? People that come in, because you're talking to the public. It's not necessarily like a medical marijuana patient coming around. Some
people are just walking through like.
What's the number one questions you get from people to asking about your products or asking about products or even CBD in general?
Oh, they ask, is this even legal? Because I thought you can't have stuff to get you high here. I was like, well, this stuff has only 0.3% THC.
Right.
Which is a very low amount.
Yeah.
If you want to put it into perspective, if you had 100 pre-rolled hemp joints, and then you had one THC joint, you'd probably have to smoke 100 of those to get the amount of THC that's in that one.
And you would probably get sick from smoke inhalation.
Exactly.
Rather than,
sick from being so high.
Because you would have to, by the time you'd smoke one hemp joint or vaporize it, well, currently right now you can't even smoke hemp flower either.
No, you can't do that either.
Can't sell it unless you're a dispensary.
Yep.
Right? So you can't even...
You can't put a flame to it.
You can't put a flame to it.
Yep.
So they have to vaporize that too as well. So
change these laws.
Yeah, change
these laws.
Laws got to be changed.
These laws.
And
yeah, the number one question though is usually I have anxiety. What do you think I can do? I can't sleep at night. That's just like the normal thing, Anxiety. Everybody in the world is stricken with anxiety right now.
We're going through some really troubling times right now, and I have a feeling, and I hate to be a buzzkill, but I'm a realist as well, is that we're going to still succumb and see a lot of people say 2020 is over, 2021, but I just see round 2. And what I see is a lot of people suffering from the adverse effects of the psychosis, of the anxiety driven, not only with PTSD, but with anxiety and depression from 2020. I was on the phone with a couple of people that were talking about how they're losing their jobs back in Oregon. They're losing their livelihoods, their homes, all kinds of things. There's a lot of things on the back burner that a lot of people are not seeing. And it's really, really, really causing a lot of anxiety, and it's causing a lot of depression, and people don't know where to turn. And I'm not saying that cannabis isn't the only tool you need to go and run to, but it's one of those that can really help. And going back to what you were talking about with the administration of oral administration is one of the best forms for anxiety.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And taking hemp CBD is a good tool to start. And if you have a medical card, you really want to start driving towards those strains that are sativa dominant during the day to help you with anxiety. Look for the strains with THCV. We talked about that in our last episode with tetrahydrocannabinol. And so cannabis can be a very generous tool on a daily basis to use that, of course, but magnesium, vitamin B12,
zinc.
D3, zinc, all these things are really good for supplemental intake to help with your anxiety. But you're right, anxiety, people are suffering with tons of anxiety.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I suffer with anxiety.
Me too. I always have. I've had anxiety. I had anxiety when I was a kid, and I didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean?
You're just like,
and I was like, whoa, I started getting weird. Yeah, wigged out. It hit me really hard when I stopped drinking, though.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Because your pain.
Yeah, I was drinking excessively, And when I quit, I've been sober for 21 years. And so when I stopped drinking excessively, my body didn't know what to do. So I stopped doing everything because I figured I was an addict of everything. So I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped smoking cigarettes. Like I just stopped everything.
Right now.
I wouldn't have. I wish I wouldn't have did that though. I wish I wouldn't have stopped smoking weed.
I know.
You know, the drinking, yeah, but smoking weed, because weed would have been able to help me mentally
Come off of all those things.
to come off all those and wean it off. And fortunately for me, I was one of the lucky ones that didn't have to go to classes and therapy. I kind of just did it myself. But not everybody's like that. They need help.
Oh, people are
and mental awareness is something that mental health awareness is something that people need to be looking into quite more frequently. I was kind of disturbed today a little bit because I haven't been back to Utah in quite some time, and I went to go visit a gentleman for labeling for my compliancy of my labels for my product.
Yeah.
And I drove down 5th West, man. Have you been down there? 7th. Yeah, I think it was, hold on one second. I'm not going to give you the exact address, but I drove down this road, and
Just like sativa for daytime if you have anxiety. Microdosing is the answer.
Microdosing is the answer.
Tell him, Beth.
Yeah. So, it was 5th West. Hey, man, we got a problem here in Utah.
What is it?
Tent City.
Oh, wow.
By an underpass there. And
like 4th South?
Yeah, a 9th.
Oh, 9th South?
Yeah.
I thought it was 400 West.
Yeah.
Is that where they moved
9th South and 5th
they
West.
They were at the Rio Grande.
Yeah, 9th South and 5th West is an overpass right there. And nothing but tents. And a lot of people say, well, we're used to that. We know where that's at. I'm not. Because in Oregon, I didn't see that too much. I saw a little bit of it. Like bum camps was what they used to call them. Yeah. But I saw these people there, and I was just like, wow, man. It's cold outside, really bro. And a lot of this homelessness is, a lot of these people suffer from mental health. And just talking to these individuals can help them sometimes. But we got a big problem on our hands. And homelessness is actually starting to rise more and more. And unfortunately, again, I feel that it's still coming more, dude. And people are becoming homeless, and we're at the brink of a semi-economical collapse with everything that's going on. They had funding for COVID. They had funding for your cars. Yep. They had funding for your schools, your grants. All those are going away now because they're getting tired of shelling out money, And so you can't use, due to COVID, hardly much anymore. And it's kind of sad, man. And I think a lot of people are going to be losing their homes, and we need to start really talking about that and talking about this mental illness that is going on. We're starting to see it more and more with a lot of people. So hopefully we can help change that with cannabis as well. I know cannabis isn't a cure-all, but if it can take us a little bit in that direction, it'd be good.
That's why I go out to all these markets and all these boutiques and any place I can go where people are congregating.
Right.
I like to show up, and I let them know that I can help in regards even just to bring awareness to your breath.
Yeah.
Bringing awareness to your diet, bringing awareness to whatever it is, and then giving them resources. Our number through Beehive Buds, people call and text us all day, every day, and it's just an open line where anybody can call if they have any issues, have any concerns, or just need somebody to talk to. We're here for you. And if you want to put something together to bring some food or whatever out to those guys and try to just talk to them, let's do it, because people being sick and people being out in the cold, that's not what we need. That's really sad.
You say congregation, what I miss is all the events that we were having.
Oh my God.
Man, Utah was starting to really buzz with all those events, those cannabis events.
That was awesome.
That was huge.
Utah Can.
Yeah, that was huge. Because did you get to go to Utah Can?
Yeah, I went to that.
You did go to that one? I'm surprised I didn't even see you there.
Oh,
Utah Can, the first one?
I was going to go to the one. I went to the Utah Can Affair.
Yeah.
And then the one that they were going to do, the Utah Can.
No,
was
Can Affair.
canceled.
No, the Utah Can Affair in April.
Okay, I didn't go to that.
You didn't go to that one?
I went to the monthly.
That
monthly
one was
meetups.
huge, man. There were so many. That's what solidified me coming back here.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot of people here that actually do believe in this plant. Because I thought, man, I'll never go back to Utah because people there just hate the plant. They hate cannabis. They hate this. They hate that. And I come back here and I'm like, wow, this is great. I love this. And I went back to Oregon and I was like, what do you think about going back to Utah? my girlfriend was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, well, if I can grow and we can still do, because she's a medical patient, and she absolutely 100% but she needs medical cannabis for her existence, and that's no joke, man. 3 days without oil,
She's done.
she's just gets real. Everything changes, her mood, her facial structure, everything. Her sleep schedule, her eat pattern.
Yep.
And when she consumes cannabis, she's just at her highest point. And she doesn't use any pharmaceutical drugs. So that's proof right there that, and she's gone through diabetes. We've treated her diabetes with cannabis. We're helping treat the fibromyalgia, because fibromyalgia is intreatable and uncurable.
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis is too. She doesn't have MS, but those kinds of illnesses are.
All you have to do is just give them treatments.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of work. You got supplemental intake, you got diets, and you have mood swings and all these other things that you're dealing with along with cannabis, but it's just one of the most valuable tools. But the Canna Fair is what solidified me coming back. And it didn't have to do with profit. I was like, oh man, I can make so much money there. There's a lot of people who need help here.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
A lot of patients?
A lot of patients.
And I think a lot of people that are helping the patients need help too.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And so
those
those people that are coming to you at the farmers markets and those things, they're patients and they don't even know it.
They don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. Until
they're
try
home
it.
taking ibuprofen 4 times a day.
Right.
They're just doing whatever they can, chugging Diet Cokes, and then taking a Lord every now and then. That's their treatment.
Right. That's
their preventative measures they're taking, and it's hurting their body.
Right.
So when they interact with me and they talk to Beehive Buds or Healing of the Nation, they find a new way that they can treat themselves. A new way that they can help that's way more natural to the body, super bioavailable, and also it just feels so much better. You get connected. You can actually connect to your pain and figure out where it's coming from instead of just masking the pain by creating a numbness throughout your whole body.
Right.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
So, Autumn says, tell Gigi's story.
Gigi.
There's a lady at the urban flea market. She's amazing. She has purple hair. She's like, I think she's in her 80s or 90s. She's 70s or 80s. She's pretty awesome. She has so much antique type stuff that she brings out. But she's in a lot of pain. And she says, what do you have for pain? Nothing works. Nothing helps me. My son, he owns a dispensary in California, and my daughter always gets me medicine, but nothing helps me, and I don't want to take that stuff. So Autumn came, and she gave her a full 75 milligram capsule. And
okay, wait, let's go back for 1 second. 75 milligram capsule of what?
Of our CBD oil.
Okay, and so 75 milligram capsule, like what? Explain to everybody. And I hate to cut you off right now.
No, you're fine.
Explain to everybody what a 75 milligram dose of CBD is actually. Like, what are we...
That's a pretty big dose.
It is, right?
Yep, that's a pretty
big dose.
But
will it get her high?
It will not get her high.
Okay, what's it going to do to the body?
It's actually going to interact with the endocannabinoid system.
Right.
So as the medicine goes into your body and the capsule, it releases all of it.
There you go.
Into the endocannabinoid system, it communicates with the CB2 receptors.
Mm-hmm.
So in there, if there's triggers of pain, triggers of inflammation, it's going to send the medicine there to help with that treatment.
Right.
And also mentally too, you're going to send it to the CB1 receptors, and that's going to help you a ton mentally dealing with that pain.
Right, and I just wanted to touch on that because a lot of people, they're like, 75 milligram dose, what? So if anybody's watching and are writing down 75 milligram dose, would you suggest anybody else to go through a 75 milligram dose from the get-go?
No, I would not.
Okay.
Unless they have some sort of extreme chronic pain.
Right.
And they're dealing with something, and they're looking for something that will show them from the beginning, hey, this might work.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because if it's someone that's having a lot of pain and you give them, hey, try 10 milligrams of CBD.
Right.
They'll think, oh, okay, I didn't really feel anything. I'm going to take 4 ibuprofen and I'll get relief for 3 hours.
Right.
So you give someone like that a bigger capsule, and you allow them to see, hey, this is pretty strong medicine. You're not going to get high, but you are going to get relief. You are going to feel fluid. You are going to feel free of pain.
Right.
And
Okay,
it's all natural.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Some people really, they'll miss that whole, that was so important what you just said.
The 75 milligram?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so Gigi.
So then she takes the capsule, and as I'm packing up and I'm leaving, she says, hey, that capsule, I'm feeling warm, and I don't know if I like this feeling. And I was like, you know what, here's our card. Drink water and let me know. Here's our number, call or text. If you start to feel not well at all, let me know, and we'll get you some help. But I think what you're feeling is medicine is coming out, and you're starting to feel some relief that you haven't felt in a long time.
So you know what I feel when I take that oil,
What do you feel?
or a 75 milligram dose? I get warm. I get hot.
Warm and hot.
Yeah, I get warm, like my temperature rises.
Exactly.
That's normal. You know what that is?
What is that?
That's waking up the endocannabinoid system.
Boom.
Why is it that we're getting hot? What happens when your body starts to get warm?
Increasing temperature inside.
Right?
You're firing on all cylinders.
There you go. And
Yep.
and you're right. Drink lots of water. You're rehydrating. When we smoke cannabis and we get dry mouth and you drink water, you're drinking the very essence of more of what your body
Yep.
yearns for. Man.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and you're detoxifying. You're sweating out
You're
these
sweating
things.
out all these things and then putting new stuff in.
I've been consuming not only THC but CBD, and I still get those hot flashes, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought was cool.
And what'd you tell her?
But for her, she
Yeah.
was scared.
Yeah,
She's like, because I know when she said
she
how
thought it was
scared she
coming on, huh?
Yeah. And she's like, uh-oh. Like, what is this? I don't like this feeling.
Right,
And the feeling that she was feeling is connection to herself.
right.
And then, so I didn't hear from her that night. And then this morning, increasing metabolism. Yes, Beth. Beth is smart. I like Beth. But so then she called this morning and Autumn talked to her and she says, hey, I don't know what that is. I have to know what's in that capsule. But I felt great.
Mm.
And I talked to my daughter and I talked to my son and they want to know what's in there because they want to get more of it.
Tell us what's in it. Where did it come from? What was in it? Like what's going on?
So
Explain it
the
to us.
strain itself is from American Fork. It's
Okay.
a T1 that we
Okay.
harvested.
All right.
And it's solventlessly extracted
Okay.
from Beehive Labs.
There you go.
And we put our product inside this capsule.
Okay.
And we give that to her. It's a full spectrum CBD.
Full spectrum. What do you mean?
So it has all of the cannabinoids
Okay.
per the plant.
Yeah.
And a wide array of them. And it's
Cool.
phenomenal stuff.
Right on.
So
Very potent.
I think so.
Yeah.
She thought so.
All right.
So we'll see if she comes back. She's a vendor, so we work.
So you
well
said
with other vendors.
solventless.
Solventless extraction.
Solventless.
So
Can you kind of explain to us like how just from water?
Just water.
Water extraction.
Yep.
Isn't that great?
I think that's awesome.
That's great.
I mean, if you can do it, you might as well just use just water, right?
Right.
Instead of using an alcohol or
That's right.
ethanol,
Right.
which can be harmful to the body.
No, it is harmful. Not
Which
can.
I do not
It is.
promote putting that into people's bodies.
Yeah,
So.
it is. And so let's talk a little bit about that right there. Okay. That is a great story. That's awesome, dude.
That's what
I love that. And you and I get to experience this every
we
day.
do
bro.
every day. Yeah.
Every day, man. And I don't get used to it. I know you don't.
I don't get used to
I
it.
love to hear all these stories, but let's talk about let's end this with not end it right now, but let's end this last portion of this. Let's talk about processing.
Oh, sorry, that was extracted with Soma.
Oh, I was extracted with Soma. Soma extraction company here in Salt Lake City. I've been to that facility myself with Autumn.
Yep.
Have you been there?
Because
You're not privileged enough
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
not
there.
even there yet. So
Ha ha.
I had to stay home and watch the kids.
So,
These
which
two
is a
little
very important
rascals.
job.
It is, yeah.
It is an important job.
Underrated,
You're a
for
good
sure.
person. But so I've been to this facility at Soma, and Soma is a facility that are doing things very good. I mean, I can't talk about their extraction method because I was made to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you it is a truly non-solvent product, and it's thorough, it's concentrated, and these things need to be done more here in Utah. There are a lot of extractors here in Utah that are using ethanol. They're beating up the plant. They're using milled products. They're using distillate, CO2, and isolate. And I have a lot of feedback from people, negative feedback from people saying, why are you so against distillate and isolate and CO2? And it's not that I'm trying to be negative. It's just that I want to inform people about the breakdown of the plants when we introduce chemicals to this plant. If we introduce chemicals to this plant, we are doing ourselves a disservice by ingesting and or producing and giving people a product that's going to be less likely to work accordingly to what our endocannabinoid systems and how we feel on a day-to-day basis. Distillate products, isolate products, and ethanol-enriched products are not healthy for you to take. And so I'm a huge advocate for solventless. I know you guys are.
Yeah,
And
appreciate
it's
solventless.
really hard to do solventless. It really is. It's hard to accumulate a lot of water extraction and do these things that we're trying to progressively go forward in. And so I just hope to see a lot more of that. with the processing, you know, and unfortunately a lot of processors won't talk to us about that and get into the gist of things. It's hard to get a processor to explain, why are you using ethanol? Why do you believe that distillate is a proper product? You know, they like to say, well, we get rid of all the alcohol from there. It's a safe product. There's nothing harmful, but there are scientific proof that these carcinogens can be harmful to the body. When you go into aluminum, potassium sulfate, pentane, it's being used for isolate products. People using those, the distillate
How do you
products,
extract all that?
all that stuff, you know. So you got to be careful. So, yeah.
Hey, peace out, Beth. Thank you for being awesome yourself. Got to run. She gave us the peace
Beth
signs.
Beth who? Who's it Beth?
Beth Green.
Beth Green. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
She's the one that got you.
Yeah.
Good thing. Autumn says, let's find one.
I just know so many Beths.
Oh, you know so many Beths?
I do know a lot of Beths. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and what do you have to say about that?
I think that everybody's beautiful. They're all. I have never met a Beth that I have not liked. So, but Beth Green she's awesome.
I know
Her
quite a few
soul
Beths.
is awesome. Yeah. So
She's smart.
yeah. So
She's fun to
listen,
be around.
I would like to get JD on our next podcast. What do you think?
So JD, if you're still listening, let us know if you want to be down with the podcast.
Come to the
Definitely
gun show, bro.
Yep.
Come to the gun show.
Welcome you
Look,
to the
are
gun
your
show.
guns as big as mine, or are mine bigger than yours?
Yours are way bigger.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Dang, you're almost there though, bro. I got to start working out.
I'm just long and
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So
Shit, you're pretty buff.
next time we'll be working out. We're gonna do it at the gym.
No, we're
Get some
not.
benches in, and we'll do some wrestling.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
We'll do some jiu-jitsu. Maybe we could
I
do a
actually thought about doing
podcast.
that today.
Maybe we could do a podcast downstairs in my beat laboratory on the mats in the geese,
Boom.
and
Yep.
we can do interactive moves. I can teach you some moves on camera, and we can do podcasts.
Just
and
some flowing.
just doing some flowing, yeah.
Yep.
Passing the guard. If anybody doesn't know, I've been training in jiu-jitsu with Carlson Gracie and Dennis Ash, and hopefully be training with Carlson Gracie here in town as well. But I've been showing this guy some pretty cool moves.
I'm ready for some more too.
Yeah. So I almost choked him out unconscious one time at my shop.
That was just
Tell him
2
about
weeks
that.
ago.
Yeah.
So we were, I don't know what they call that practice we were doing. But he was using my jacket.
I was applying a choke on him with his jacket.
With my
Yes.
jacket, yeah.
I was showing him that jackets can be used as a tool to apply submission chokes, blood chokes, and he was fighting that off, and I started to see his eyes get a little weird,
Little fluttery, yeah.
little fluttery, and I stopped, and his legs were.
My legs went numb, actually. It was really weird. I haven't had that happen, so I think he almost had me. It's a good thing he stopped.
I did it. I knew what I was
He
doing.
always stops.
I'm
Yeah.
a professional.
Yeah. I was never in harm.
Yeah. So
But
anyway,
my legs were definitely numb. So
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But maybe we could do a podcast down in there.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that'd
the
be
Beat
cool.
Laboratory. That'd be cool. I'm putting together my my gym. I was supposed to put it again. Supposed to put it together last week, but man, dude, a lot of patients, bro.
Yeah,
A lot of
people,
patients need
yeah.
help, you know. And I do free consulting for patients. So medical marijuana patients, if they need my help, and they call me and they're like, "Hey Tim, you know, I really need help with this formality from the stuff I got from the dispensary." And or CBD products. I go and I offer free consulting for those guys.
For
So
sure.
anybody out there in Salt Lake City, Utah,
Yeah.
if I can make it to you, I give free consulting to medical marijuana patients just so that we can get them the proper formalities and help them out with dosing and stuff like that. So,
That's the way to be.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So if JD's still watching, we're gonna get you on, bro. We're gonna get you on. So we've been kind of flying by the seat of our pants with these episodes. I hope everybody is liking these episodes. If there's any comments or concerns on the, I don't read the comments. You say you do, but
I do, yeah.
I don't read any comments. I really don't care for things like that. But if you see anything, well, because a lot of people are trolls, dude. And
I know. No one's
everybody
told us
knows
yet.
everything, and they're like, "You're wrong about distillate, dude. That isolate, I love that stuff," and they get real combative against it. And it's not that I want to try to piss people off. It's just that I see things that haven't worked, or I see things that have made people sick, and you know, I just kind of capitalize on it. So I try not to feed into the negativity. And you know, sometimes people are like, "Oh no, you're wrong about this or that." Or one thing that somebody said about Rick Simpson's oil is, "Isn't that stuff made with naphtha, pure naphtha, which is an alcohol that is used to strip paint off of cars and all this other stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is, but I don't use naphtha."
The original
You know what I
one
mean?
was made with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the naphtha in Canada is different from the naphtha in the United States. The naphtha in the United States is made with lubricant. I mean, it has lubricants in them. The naphtha in Canada is pure, but Rick Simpson doesn't even use that anymore. So
No
he's
way.
evolved.
That was
And
just his first thing.
That was his first thing, you know? And so, what was I going to say? I totally lost train of thought for...
Trolls.
No, not
Naphtha.
trolls. Oh, all these people using Everclear. Stop using Everclear to make your cannabinoids, people. What are you doing?
Be careful.
You're taking alcohol and you're cooking it on a stove, and or you're using that for your extraction method, and you're making this fecal oil. And what you're doing is you're slowly addicting your body to alcohol. It's almost impossible to burn away all that not ethanol, but Everclear. You got to cook Everclear at 300 degrees to diminish the alcohol completely out from the cannabinoids. You start destroying things.
Destroys the cannabinoids.
Stop cooking with this Everclear. That's so dangerous, bro.
Be careful. Yeah, please.
You know,
be
one
careful.
time I had a patient, not me, but a patient told me that her husband suffered from congestive heart failure. He went to a dispensary and got this alcohol that was made with Everclear, and he took it, and it stopped his heart in the middle of the night. They had to revive him. His wife did. Luckily, she woke up and revived him.
What do you think stopped his heart?
The alcohol, because he was taking heart medication.
Oh, you can't mix it.
You can't mix those two. Absolutely not.
Have to be careful.
So we got to be careful, you know.
Gotta be way
With
careful.
everybody trying to do projects at home, if you're doing projects at home, please be safe, guys. Don't do something because you heard or seen it or saw it on the internet and then try to reenact all that stuff. Talk to professionals. Be safe. Consume safely.
Ask
so
questions.
Ask questions.
Seek a mentor.
Seek a mentor. Seek guidance. Do a lot of research before you get on and start making ethanol enriched products or alcohol. Or another thing people are using is isopropyl.
Isopropyl
Has
I've seen it.
benzene in it.
I'm not taking that.
That'll harden your arteries. That'll give you stomach ulcers. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so we got to be careful.
Be careful, y'all.
Anything else?
No, let's just do that.
Anything else?
So,
So anyways, thanks, man. I love doing these things on the fly. I know these things are slow, and we're probably not going to get a lot of followers right off the get-go, but you and I have a common goal, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And I see good things coming from these podcasts, and we're
do.
only going to progressively get better and better. So, another person we're having on next week. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say.
Robbins.
No, Christopher Robbins.
Christopher Robbins.
I'm not going to say because
We don't want to say it anymore. We're not
well,
gonna say it.
last time I tried to get somebody on and I said their name, I put them on the spot, and they never showed up,
Yep.
so we couldn't
Never
get them
worked out.
on. So that's okay, whatever. But I don't want to jinx myself in that way. So we're gonna have a lot of cool people on. One thing we do want to talk about is we want to get your homie on there, Beto
Beto.
Burns.
Yep.
Beto Burns.
So I'm going to reach out to him today. Beto, if you're watching. Anna, if you're watching.
His
let's
vibe,
link
bro.
up. And
I
he's
dug
the
his
man.
vibe, bro.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's got
Really
a good
appreciate
spirit.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get some music on here.
He spoke the good words.
Yeah, so we'll find an area maybe at the OG, and then we'll do an acoustic.
Okay.
And maybe get some reggae.
Yeah.
Have him sing about Babylon. You know,
And maybe I'll play the drum or something.
maybe
Whatever
you
he
can play
needs.
the drums. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever he needs. Can you play the drums?
I can play the drums too.
Yeah, I've never seen you play the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you can break dance.
Bend over. Ready?
Dude, that's totally
Boom!
unacceptable
Got you,
behavior.
big dog.
That's disgusting.
Those were just jokes, guys. If anyone hung out for 57 minutes, you just got your first joke of the day. So, stay tuned.
I'm gonna choke him out after this.
I'm not wearing a jacket right now, so the shirt.
I could choke you out.
You can still
with-
get the shirt.
No, I'm just gonna go raw dog right on your throat.
You are?
Yeah, and I'm just
Okay.
gonna. I'm just kidding.
Check on-
Did I just threaten you on
Check on
live
me.
TV?
Check on me in 20 minutes, guys. Call my phone, text me, and then if you don't hear from me, find my phone. That's what you got to do.
Oh.
I'm in Own Wellness Center. Okay, Terra Health and Wellness.
He's an antagonist. You're an antagonist.
You think so?
Yeah, you are.
I'll stop
You
doing
are.
that.
No,
Right
you
now.
won't. No,
Now
you won't.
forward.
You
Now forward, watch.
no, because ever since I met you, that's what you've been doing is antagonizing me. I think you really want me to assault you.
There might be a little bit of desire, because then there's a response back.
There's a response. You're
Yeah.
gonna call the cops, huh?
No, I don't have them on speed dial. I have their number blocked. So.
All right. Well, I
just
got to go
kidding.
build some lowriders, man.
Okay, Caprese.
Caprice, 78 Caprice. I just got a 78 Caprice. It's got a lot of rust on it because it's from Salt Lake, and we need to. Yeah,
There's a lot of salt in
My
the
patients have cancer. My car's got cancer.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna fix it all.
Extract.
Yeah, some
that
RSO.
rust. You need to put some on there?
Yeah, put some RSO on the car. Yeah. So, just for Kicks Hydraulics. Just for Kicks Hydraulics, I just opened up that shop a month and
Shout out.
like a month and a half ago.
Yep. Shout out.
Kicks
Just for
Hydraulics.
Kicks.
What's up to Damasio, my partner, And anything you want to say before we get off about Beehive? Where are you going to be again Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday, I'll be at the Lehigh Farmers Market.
Okay.
From 3 to 8 on Friday, and then 10 to 5 on Saturday.
10 to 5 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. They have good food. They have usually good music. They have a lot of good vendors there and lots of cool people. And it is a mask optional place. They're acting within their constitution, and they are fully about it. So, yeah.
I'm an advocate of not wearing a mask, the control device, if you will. And I know that might upset a lot of people out there, but I don't care. And at that point in time, that's where I will not be wearing a mask. So I'm glad that they don't, because I remember I didn't go there because remember you had to wear a mask, right? And at first,
no, they've always been no
have
mask.
they?
They've always been no mask.
When was the one that you said that was mandatory? That was downtown.
That was downtown. And
that was downtown. Yeah.
Get mandatory.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So.
They won't even let you show your nose. So.
Yeah, they won't even let you show your nose. So you don't have to wear a mask at these places.
Not at the one on Lehigh. Yeah, it's optional.
I love that.
So
that's great.
They're acting within the Constitution.
That's right. Constitutional right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Constitutional right. You know, and that's what probably say, oh, you're breaking the law. No, we're not. It's our constitutional right not to wear a mask because the mask is a control device, in my opinion. You know, and people say you're spreading COVID, you're doing this, you're doing that. You think what you want to think.
Yep.
I think what I want to think. You were just sick recently.
I was way sick.
You got way sick. I don't think I've ever heard you that sick before.
Have
you been that sick?
No, not like
you
that.
You were pretty sick, man.
That was like a 3-week sick.
Do you think maybe you might have had it?
For sure.
You know?
I had it.
Did you? But you're alive.
Yeah,
you built an immunity.
It into
you got real skinny. I'm so glad to see that you've gained a little bit of
weight
back, dude.
Yeah, I was really
you were skinny, bro. When you came over my house, I was like, oh no.
They got him.
They got him, dude. My boy's gonna die, dude.
You thought I had the vaccine, but I did not.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of the vaccine.
Wait, shout out Betsy, Lucy, and Dorothy at the Lehigh Farmers Market. They're awesome. They're the ones that are advocating for people to act within the Constitution and choose to wear the mask or not. You know, they've been strong advocates in the community, and they've been standing up for everybody's rights for quite some time now. So I want to give a shout out to them because they're awesome.
Right on. Dig it. Well, cool, man. All right. Well, we're going to sign off here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Kind of like, again, we really didn't have any criteria today. We just came down here to April Terra Wellness. This is a good center. It's a good place for you to get your medical marijuana card if you guys want to come down and take a look at them and get a hold of April. Get a hold of April. They got Beehive suppositories. No?
We have
do you guys have suppositories?
Yeah, we have suppositories.
Yeah, they do. They have Beehive products here, all your creams. What all do you guys have? I mean, you guys got a lot of products, dude. Just real quick, lay it down for me, bro, because I don't have this many products. I just don't have that kind of energy. I don't know how you guys do that, bro.
It's a lot of energy.
So start from the top. Like, how many products do you actually have?
We got a lot. So we got a lot of different sizes of tinctures, 250, 750, 1500, 2 sizes of 1500. We have a 3000. We also have the Healing of the Nation, 1000 milligrams.
Wait, slow back. You have a Healing of the Nation?
Yeah, we have the Healing of the Nation.
Is that like a collaboration tincture?
Yep, it's like this. If you put the hats together.
I ain't gonna lean that close to you.
You sure?
I'm still stewing
we can merge.
About that last comment that you gave me. I'm still thinking about that.
Well, you'll take time to get over it.
No.
Some people utilize CBD just to breathe and relax.
I ain't gonna do nothing for this.
You don't think so?
Not even a little bit.
Maybe you need to punch the ground?
No, I need to... I'm not gonna
punch
say
the
it.
ground.
No.
Ground and pound. And then we have roll-ons, which you roll on, just nice different sizes. We have bath bombs. We all have healing salves in 3 different sizes. And we have Sacred Journey, which is fantastic. It's a mood enhancer.
Show them what that package looks like.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is sweet. So this is Sacred Journey.
I heard good things about this. Okay, that's enough, bro. Bro.
Take your Sacred Journey.
It's enough.
Stuff, yep. And
yeah, cool, man.
We have apparel, we have hats, beanies. We want to get hoodies and stuff, but we're slacking. Cool. We got a lot of fun stuff like that. We even have more too. But we also have monthly subscription boxes, which is our Be Grateful box, Be Beautiful box. It's phenomenal. If you want to get on for the monthly subscription or bi-monthly, let us know. A lot of local products. We always support local. It's the community healing the community.
Speaking of supporting, one of our want to give a shout out to OG Cannabis Products, Beehive, Healing of the Nation.
If you're watching,
thumbs up. We want to give a shout out to Roxy CBD out in Roy.
Number one pet CBD, they said.
Number one pet
She got
CBD.
voted.
She got voted number one pet CBD.
And I believe she won.
And I think she did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yep. So she's doing great things. Roxy, I love her. She very much. She's doing some awesome stuff. And then shout out to SLC Hayes, Amy.
Amy, yep.
She's feeling a little under the weather today.
Oh, send her some
So
good
I send her
vibes.
some good vibes and some positive vibes today. So we want to say what's up to them. So anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my mom, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
my wife,
goodness,
my
that's
kids.
so sweet.
Yeah,
I
all
like
those
that,
wonderful people. You know?
All right, well let's get JD on, bro.
JD, we're coming for you, man.
We're coming for you,
Hopefully
JD.
you're
Let's
available
get you on.
sometime soon.
Yep, cool. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. All right.
Peace. Peace out.